Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and this is the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, the music podcast on where I interview singers and musicians from genres of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afrobeat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the destination genre of black music right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Legal Shield is a proud sponsor of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Have you been involved in any types of accidents? Have you been a victim of identity theft? Have you been a victim of a computer fraud scam? Have you been in disputes with your tenants or landlords? If your loved one dies and they didn't write up a will for you or for your family, or you and your spouse are filing for divorce, or if you need help by opening up your small business, give Legal Shield a try. Visit their website at LegalShield.com and tell them you heard it here on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Do it today. You'll be glad you did. Happy New Year, America, and Happy New Year to the world. My name is Sam Wilson Jr., creator and host of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, wishing you and your families a blessed and safe and happy New Year. And effective today, Thursday, January 1st, 2026, I'll be bringing you every first Thursdays of the month right here on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And to start it off, my guest will be Miss Tiera Sticks Jones. Now, if you like the episode that I'm going to air, then please go to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. All you need to do is go to the YouTube homepage and make sure you go to the search box and type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. If you love the episode that I'm going to air, then please click the subscribe button. Please leave a comment. Please give me a thumbs up, and please pass it on. And if you're not a Patreon member yet, then please help me continue to bring you the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Please go to Patreon and make sure you put in your email address and your password. Go to the Patreon homepage and make sure you see all of the Patreon shows done by different creators. Go to the search box and type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. All you need to do is help me continue to bring you black music stories that needs to be told and needs to be exposed, where history meets diversity. So in the meantime, please check out today's episode. Enjoy your holiday and continue to have a blessed and safe and happy New Year. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Question: did music play a part in sports? The answer is yes. And you've seen back in the days during the mid 80s, we've seen all of our favorite athletes participating in the music videos, as well as those participating in other things. So, as we can tell you that music play a part in sports. So many of our athletes, either they were off the season and they would go do some other things, whether it's music, playing instruments, or being rappers in hip hop. So I'm very delighted to have my guest on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And this lady that I'm about to introduce is and was a former football player who had played in high school and college football. Today, She's the founder and co owner of the Detroit Black Ice women's football team and the CEO of Pink Heel Productions. She's not only a business leader, but she's also a player who was a wide receiver and quarterback for her own team. Through both football and entrepreneurship, she is dedicated to empowering women and promoting diversity and building platforms that inspire confidence, leadership, and community impact. So please help me welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tiera Sticks Jones. Hi,
Yay,
Sticks.
yay.
How are you?
Hey, hey, how are you? Thank you for having
Uh,
me.
you're welcome. Welcome to my podcast. Glad to have you here. It's a pleasure to interview you as we do an episode on how does music play a part in sports. So how you doing otherwise?
I am great. I mean, I noticed you said former. I still got it, baby. I am still balling. In fact, I'm number 10 of the Detroit Black Ice women's football team.
Oh, okay. It's a
Yeah, yeah.
pleasure. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you here. So, as always, America doesn't know who you are, the world doesn't know who you are. So, I'm very delighted to have you here. And we got to give a shout out to Miss Monica Hamlet, aka Mona Lisa. So,
Lyrics.
let's give a shout out to her and thanking her for recommending me to interview you on my show. So I didn't
Well,
want to
not
leave her
just that.
out.
Mona Lisa Lyrics is one of Detroit Black Ice number one sponsors, the top sponsors, rather. Mona Lisa Lyrics and Jay's Jen's from Detroit. They're both one of the Detroit Black Ice sponsors. So they're very big supporters of the Detroit Black Ice, and I myself.
Oh, okay. Well, perfect. So let us begin, shall we? Now, where were you born?
Well, I was born in Detroit, the Dirty D 313, baby.
All right, let's give it up for Detroit.
No, that's right.
Yes.
Detroit, Michigan, West Side.
Okay.
I got to put that out there. I don't know if you know, but yeah, I have to. West Side. And I was raised Highland Park, but I still was Detroit.
Okay. Now, were your parents or any of your family relatives were in sports or did they have their regular 9 to 5 day jobs?
Well, my father was around when I was born, but not later on. So my mom worked multiple 9 to 5, raising three girls, and I am the oldest. It still is. So I was, I'm the oldest. I'm the protector and the leader of us, the three girls.
Now, which high school did you go to?
Detroit Northwestern on Grand Boulevard, right down the street from the Motown of the Detroit. Yep. We walked right past it every time we go to school.
Hmm. And which college did you go to?
Well, you see, I've been to several. I went to whoever had the best offer. And I wasn't a D1 material, but I was a strong, nice D2 and did the best I can, and I was offered scholarships. So my first year, my high school not therapist, what how we call it, counselor, highly recommended me to start JUCO. I didn't understand what JUCO was. I found basically it's community college. But I'm telling you now, it's a whole different world of sports in college. So my first college was KCC, and where I was taking in the degree of applied science. I set records, and I also played. I set records across country, and I played basketball, and I still held a nice record there. My second college I went to, I decided to go to another school who had a better offer, Henry Ford Community College in Dearborn, and there I majored in early childhood development. and I still have basketball records. And then after I graduated from JUCO, I went to Olivet College. It was D3, and I played basketball. But however, I didn't finish the season. I went on, and it was a private school too in Olivet, Michigan. I went on to Robert Morris, where that's where I performed. I graduated and I played basketball and lacrosse. I went there for business management or business administration, concentrating in management. And then I graduated, and then I was playing lacrosse really well, where I couldn't come back for a scholarship in basketball because my years are up. But what do you know? Little old me ended up being great in lacrosse, went back for another degree, and got a graphic art and design, just an associate's though. So, yeah, those my schools.
Mm. And what was your major in college since you went from different varieties of different colleges? What was your major?
Well, I said all that, but the final major, like I said, was business man- administration, but concentrating management for lacrosse or for Robert Morris University. That's why my final degree. And then I went back on a lacrosse scholarship for associates in graphic art design.
Oh, okay. Now, who did you want it to be when you grow up?
What all little girl athletes wanted to be an WNBA star. Oh, it was kind of crazy and foolish because they were like, "What?" Like, yeah, I wanted to be a WNBA star. My idol was Lisa Leslie. She paved the way for me to, especially growing up, as a dark skinned, skinny athlete. I think I wasn't a lot of people's favorite, I would say. But, it's people like her, Tyra Banks, Swing Cash, and women like that who helped pave the way, and it just made us feel appreciated and wanted. And not only of her off the court, she was such a great woman. She dominated the field, dominated the court. So that's all I wanted to be when I wanted to grow up, a WNBA star, all
Mm,
star.
oh, oh, yes, all star. Yes, indeedy.
Yeah,
Now,
I just felt I had the fire to want to impact and lead. You know,
uh huh, right. Now, how old were you when you started playing sports?
I was in the fifth grade at McDowell Elementary, and I was the first and only girl on a boys basketball team. I paved the way for a lot of women, a lot of young ladies to play because as soon as I left, because after the fifth grade, I go into you graduate um after this was sixth grade, and then I had to go to middle school. So I was in the fifth grade and I graduated, but that was after that. I believe like multiple other young ladies joined the team because it was baffling for a woman or a young lady to play with the boys. Girls can't play basketball. I was born in the 80s, or late 80s. I was 88 baby, and that's the time women did not play basketball like that, especially at my age. So I had a hard time growing up playing sports, trying to get picked or even setting a tone. Many times where I didn't want to continue, I wanted to just give up. But my family, my mother definitely supported me, and she didn't play like we said earlier. She didn't play sports like that, but she pushed me, and she was my motivation to keep going, to not let those boys bully me, because I definitely got bullied. Girls got to get out of here. This is no place for girls, and da 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 da. Well, I showed them. I ended up making him a captain, the third captain, a co-captain for the women, for the girl on a co-ed basketball team, the only girl.
Wow.
Hmm.
I see you went through a lot of that. So,
Yes,
wow.
I almost make a tear
Now,
bringing back those memories.
oh, yes, yes,
I
yes.
wish they see me
Now,
now.
mm, yeah, the old saying, same thing here with me, it's like the old saying, I'm sure you heard of it. You ain't gonna be nothing. You're never gonna be a amount to nothing. And look at us now. With me growing up, I was afraid to read in front of the class. And
Mm.
I was afraid of that because of my voice. and they'll probably say something like, "You sound like someone else. You're not that black." And then
Okay.
when a year through later, when people heard my voice when I was in church doing a presentation, they said, "Amen." And
Won't he
started
do
saying, and they said, "Well, do you have a wonderful voice?"
it?
And I say, "Thank you for the compliment," because I would never knew that I would be growing up somebody in the media. And I once worked in the corporate media. I once worked at Viacom, CBS, Paramount, now Paramount Skydance Media for 35 years. And when I was thinking about being on radio, and I took up a trade school at Center for the Media Arts in the Chelsea section of Manhattan in the NYC. And my
Okay.
first choice was radio broadcasting. So when I told mom that I was going to be in radio, she thought I was nuts. And she was just concerned about the pay and says, "Will that pay you? Did it take care of your paycheck and your social security and your
Mm.
FICA and everything? Will it bring enough money for you to survive?" So I was saying radio was my calling. And,
Okay.
that was just something that many people, were very proud of my voice and for the compliment. And many people would always say, "You want to be something else?" I said, "This was my calling," because I was never happy with what was going on in radio. So I just wanted to uh, play the ropes. And I was attending, like I said, trade school. That was my first choice, radio broadcasting, but I got turned down by it. So
Mm.
I ended up being graphic art and design because my
Hey.
paternal uncle was a graphic artist, and my late paternal grandmother didn't tell me everything, but her first husband, my late paternal grandfather, did. And my late uncle had worked in an advertising studio that
Okay.
was founded by the daughter of the late Chico Marx of the Marx brothers, Groucho, Chico, Harpo, one of the Marx brothers. And
Oh,
he was responsible for doing the Muriel cigar commercial. And Disney was just getting ready to sign him. But unfortunately, my uncle, my dad, and my other uncle and their brother-in-law, my other uncle, was shipped off to the Korean War. So after when they came back home, he resumed doing artwork while my late father had a set of drums. He knew how to play drums. And while my late aunt and my late uncle, brother and sister, they learned how to play the piano. So, in my late father's side of the family, we had time and talent. While on my mom's side of the family, she only had one cousin on her father's side of the family had worked for CBS. And he was the first black to be hired at CBS. And he once worked in news film syndication. So he was in charge of that. That's those who film the event, bring it into the broadcast center, process it, and he would drop it off to any news bureaus in London, Japan, and Beirut. So I had worked in the corporate media for 35 years. And on the side, I was doing radio DJing in New Rochelle, New York, back in the mid 90s before computer moved in. And I had worked at Fordham University as technical director from 2000 to 2001 and doing fill ins. And now I'm doing DJ gigs here and there, and now doing this podcast. So
mm.
it's coming. So, as you know, the old saying, when one door closes, another opens. And it's like in your position, we got the same situation. When one door closes on us, another door opens.
That
So,
order.
yes, so who never knows that girls can play sports, but we're going to talk about that later on. Now, growing up, who were some of your favorite radio stations in Detroit?
Um, FM 98 WJLB. It's now something else, but FM 98 was definitely the hottest, the banging, and of course, oh, excuse me,
Mhm.
95.5. They had a very diverse pop culture, and I am that. I'm really big with the pop. Um, I like some country. They upgraded the country now. They got black country folk like music. It was always black country people and cowboys. But I'm talking about in the music, yes. And they have expanded and I like it. But yeah, growing up, FM 98, 955, they all had a big mix of soul, jazz, hip hop, pop, rap, you know. I'm more of a hip hop versus just rap, because some rap would be a little bit much.
Yes, so same thing here. I listen to all genres of black music, gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, a little bit of today's hip hop and R&B. Some I do like, without the cussing.
You know
And
what's a good one, since you said jazz?
uh-huh.
Urban jazz. Like one of the songs I heard was Pretty Wings, the jazz version. Ah,
Oh.
I enjoyed it so much. So I like when they do a lot of other, like Usher, Alicia Keys, when they do those jazz versions of it. It is amazing. I tell you, I it's very relaxing.
Mm. Now, now growing up, who were some of your favorite singers?
Well, growing up is a little bit different than what it is now. But one of my favorite rappers was the Brat. And the Brat, I also liked the Temptations. I love the Temptations. I love the Temptations. I think a lot of the Temptations is one of some of my favorite songs. I like Luther Vandross. I liked Britney Spears, Maya, hell, and I think Christina Aguilera when I was growing up, and Alicia Keys, of course, and Tyrese. So those were when I was growing up. Now, it's a little different, but they're still their songs are still a lot of my favorites. Papa Rose Rolling Stone,
Mhm.
unfortunately,
Yes.
but that is one of my favorite. It brings me almost tears, but it's
Mhm.
different type. But yeah, that's my favorite singers growing up.
Mhm. Now, growing up, who were some of your favorite athletes? You mentioned Lisa Leslie. Who were some of your other favorite athletes besides Lisa Leslie?
KG, KG, Kevin Garnett. I'm telling you that my boy when he and now listen, it's the Kevin Garnett that played for Boston. That now that was my favorite. That man, he was my idol. I wanted to be a monster on the field. Feed the monster. See, the thing is, I played post. I was a tiny little thing. I mean, very tiny, but I played big. I had heart. I was David and they were Goliath. And baby, I was knocking them broad girls out with them stones, baby. I'm telling you. I love Kevin Garnett. And of course, and my favorite female at the time, other than Lisa Leslie, because it was just her on the field and off the field. But my game played like Swing Cash when she played for the Detroit Shocks. I don't know if you remember that. Do you remember Swing Cash? Yes. And the, those two, I feel like if they had a baby, it would be the ultimate, like in their prime, if they was to breed and create. I feel like it would have been me. But no, all jokes aside, those two are my favorite. And today I am a strong fan of LeBron James for on the field and off the field. He get a lot of haters and he may do some dramatic extra things or whatever, but you got to get that young man, that gentleman, his props. He is a strong. individual. And for his age and him to keep going, it pushes. That's what motivates me myself. Like so, though LeBron James, I salute him because he's a great athlete.
Yes, well, shout out to LeBron James. He's the best basketball player ever. And when he's off the field, he's
Mm.
doing something to give back to the community. And that's what
And
I
that's what people
see
don't
few
understand, though.
athletes.
That's what makes him more of a great athlete. Is today athletes are you just can't just play good. It's so much more to it in regards to professionalism and how you carry yourself, and even on like what we're doing now is way more to it than just being good at playing sports. And a lot of good athletes, per se, on the field or on the court, will not make it because you got to do more, bring more to the table than just being good on the field or on the court.
Mm, yes. Now, who were your influences in sports besides football? We mentioned basketball. What other were your other influences?
My coaches, mm, my coaches, the coach from McDowell, Coach Zapp, you would have thought he was just would have looked at me and didn't give me no chance or nothing. He saw my heart, he saw my drive, and he never gave up on me. He showed me what things I need to work on, things I need to do. Right after that, I went to I had my middle school coach. I was blessed to be a nice athlete to be able to play in the top starting five. Then I went on to high school. Now my high school coaches were the ones that literally paved the way for life through college. Then the remainder of high school, our school, Northwestern, we were the weakest bottom team. And then by '05, it took 2 years of prep and hard work and dedication, hustle, desire, determination. It took 2 years of that. And then that second year, we became 500. We had the record 500. Then that third year, we won the championship. We pushed. We pushed hard. My coaches never gave up on us, and he never coached women before. So you just imagine he taught us like dogs. Like we were the dogs. We were the like we were the monsters. We were the girl monsters, and he did not treat us as girls, little girls. He taught us as the beast. He turned us into beast, and that's on the field and off the field. He was a father figure to us all. I have to say, well, we can't probably do that now, and but it's women, girls on my team that I had that didn't go to school, that was on the streets, that skipped school, and sometimes my coach will literally say, "Hey, don't you supposed to be in school? Sit on the block, get your butt in school," instead of the police doing that. And we listened, and he was a father figure to a point that he got literally what 90% of the girls. We weren't a lot of times coaches and men would take advantage of the women. My coaches have never done it. They were real life fathers in our life that we didn't have, and they got me in school for free. Options. You hear me? Like I said, I went to JUCO. I could have went any JUCO. I could have went, and he got me the best one that paid the way. AAU, we play. It's time that we play practices, 3 practices a day. We didn't understand why. We like coach just hated on us. He just don't want us. He want to just be our dad. He don't want us to have fun. We like, coach, we got lives too. He say, basketball is life. We didn't get pregnant. We didn't have kids. We weren't doing anything that's out of the body. That those men, they the ones that shaped my discipline, my confidence, and created a leader out of me. So
Hmm.
they important.
Yes. Me growing up, when I see those commercials, like for example, when you had Bo Jackson, when Bo knows everything, and then you tell us that Bo knows academics, including major subjects in school and in college and in all that. And he said, Bo stayed in school. And the end of the commercial says, don't be stupid, stay in school. And the same thing with Charles Barkley when he says, I'm not a role model. Parents are your role models. And that's the same thing that my mom have always say. If you're serious about something like performing music or doing radio. And yes, I did take up music, practice piano. If you're serious about it, then do something about it. There are some sacrifices, and like the old say, you can't be outside with your friends when you have something to do and bring it to the plate. And still up to this date, I'm still doing with my podcast. And I know my mom and my dad
See?
and my oldest sister, Waltrina, are smiling down on me and saying, like, okay, those times we were wrong, but I look at you now that you bringing something. So bring it. And that's what I'm doing with this podcast. I'm bringing it and everything. Now, here's a two-part question that I would ask you. Now, I mentioned you're a wide receiver and a quarterback. What was some of the teams that you played on college and high school? Okay, we're back on. So, like I said, I'm rolling it. So, we're going to pick up where we left off at. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna keep rolling. Okay,
Yes.
now we're gonna pick up where we left off at. Now, what team did you play as a quarterback and a wide receiver in college and high school?
One, okay, there I go. All right. What did you say again?
Okay, as a quarterback and receiver, which team that you played in high school and the other in college?
So I didn't play football in high school because my mother wouldn't let me because I was too tiny. I was literally a toothpick, i.e., the name sticks. That's where it came from. But I played street ball. So in high school, I played basketball. I was a power and small forward. Again, I was small, but I played big. The coach taught me how my handles wasn't the best, so I couldn't be a point guard position that my body type was, but I was aggressive and I was a hard worker. So I grabbed rebounds a lot. So he taught me how to dominate the post for my small frame. He like, you see this little bone on your hip? He like, you gotta use this. And he taught me how to do it. So I played small and power forward as a tiny toothpick. They underestimated me and I took advantage of that. So what made me go quarterback, which is my adult life, is when I started playing for the Detroit Black Ice. Excuse me. The Black Ice is originated in Chicago. So I played contact flag football in Chicago, and that's where I had to learn how to play quarterback because I didn't have a quarterback. I had a team full of girls, but a lot of wide receivers and a lot of good people that can catch. Yeah, I can catch too, but they were faster than me. So I had to make a sacrifice, and I had to figure out which one would be best. And I felt that I could get the ball to those athletes. So I took the advantage and I took it by myself and stepped up to be a quarterback. And that was in after college. And that's when I began start playing quarterback. But I'm a wide receiver everywhere I went, no matter what I did. And then as far as basketball, I played small forward for all from high school and up to adult life. Like even in bikini basketball, when I played in the BBA, where I was a
Mhm.
two-time champion. Um, I played small and power forward then as well. All number 10s, all forwards, just different levels.
Okay. Now, how did you came up with the name Sticks? Were you like a drummer or something? Did you took up music class in college and high school?
No, like, back to me being a skinny toothpick. I was all type of names: toothpick, Slim Jim, Slimmy, Bag of Bones, this and that. And a teacher, a professor was like, we gotta do something with that because everybody just gotta keep, basically like bullying or picking on me with the names. Well, my teacher helped me turn a negative into a positive. So she's like, you know what? You don't like being bullied. You don't like to be talked about. That's mean. We're going to, you know, take advantage of that. And we're going to stick with the names. We're going to call you Sticks. And so it's constantly reminding me that it's okay to be skinny. It's okay. you know, turn a negative into a positive. And that's actually been my life goals and motto all my life now. So now it is Sticks is my brand. It's not just my name, it's my brand.
Mm. Now, as you got older, you founded Pink Heel Productions. Please share with our audience on what your company is all about.
Well, Pink Hill Production LLC is a branding, promotion, and advertisement company that focuses on presentation and creative marketing. You are your own brand. I have a team of women that's it's in short term a promotion team. Yes, I may be the CEO and founder. However, it is a team of women entrepreneurs. So we're all our own bosses. And all I do is help manage and exploit all the greatness within that and within that their company and their brand. And if they don't have a company, I teach my women that you are your own brand. You can create and be your own company. You are your own brand and you can promote yourself. And that's what I do. I want to make sure everyone knows about their confidence and ensure that they are who they want to be. There's anything is possible. So that's what Pink Hill Productions is all about.
And I was looking at your bio about advertising. Does your production company did advertising for many black radio stations?
Well, not exactly. We will, and we don't have no problems too. But the only station that we have been with were black owned and predominantly black. WHPR TV Comcast. Are you familiar with them in Highland Park? They're they were the ones that
Hmm.
first put us out. Renee stepping out on faith, the Virgin Islands. Also on Comcast, the app WHPR and Jazzy No Nonsense, Billy Jones, the Billy Jones Show. Again, they were the shout out to all of them because they were the ones that helped put us on the platform in the first place. Even when we were in Chicago, Detroit showed us love and support all the way from Detroit. God brought us out and on their radio show. Again, in fact, Jazzy No Nonsense um, is one of also the Detroit Black Eye sponsors also. And Renee stepping out on faith. They're both radio influencers and they are amazing women who helped pave the way for my brands, my company, my sports, my women of their entrepreneurships, pave the way for all of them. So we really appreciate them.
Wow. Now, you're also the CEO and founder of the Detroit Black Ice female football team. How many years were your football team was around in existence?
Well, the black ice is not only Detroit. The Black Ice is founded in Chicago as a women's flag football team, Contact. Then we moved forward to grow and expand it to Houston, where we played co-ed flag football as well for the Houston, and Houston is Texas. Then we moved to Detroit, and that's when we became the Detroit Black Ice full pads women's football team. Our very first initiation date, our anniversary is November 1st, 2023. And that is when the Detroit Black Eyes officially been established. Um, we play in the LAF under the NFA Arena men's football team, but we're the Ladies American Football League, 8 women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to read this thing and I'm going to say this, and I quote: As a founder, CEO, and athlete passionate about empowering women, I am dedicated to shaping Black female future through sports. Posing with confidence is key. Please share that to our audience in your own words.
Well, I would like to correct and make sure it's known that it's not just black, but I am black. So I had to start with me first so that I can lead by example. I'm of all women, but it means me and women and stepping into your purpose with boldly though, like, and empowering women through sports. So just because you don't know how to play sports or you haven't played sports all your life, there's nothing wrong with learning. You don't have to play it, but you can sometimes you can learn through the method of sports to create confidence and competitiveness so that you will be able to attack whatever it is that you would like to do. So basically,
Mm,
stepping into your purpose boldly and with confidence, empowering women through sports.
mm, perfect. Now, here's a question I have to ask you. Will we see a major women's football team league in the future?
Well, why not? Why the future? It's going on right now. I actually played, I was part of it. The WFA Pro. We're on ESPN. I played with the Detroit Dark Angels with that team and the WNFC. Shout out to one of my teammates from Houston who was part of that organization. I'm very proud of her. She did an amazing job with her team and her staff. Um, they are the women's, they're the closest to the WNFL. The WFA was established first, and they was most likely they now evolved into a WFA Pro and then a WFA regular division. So it's just like in the men's league, it'll be NFL and then overseas and so and whatnot, so forth, because we have that as well. And then now the newest league, which is they're pretty competitive, the WNFC. There's a lot of Southern, um, and now they added Chicago. Shout out to Chicago Win. A lot of my teammates from the Chicago Black Ice plays for them now. I'm very proud of them, and they also play in the LFL. But right now we're building on a foundation for other than lingerie league, the LFL league. We're building on which is the LAF, eight women's outdoor league. So we're trying to grow and get that to the next level up now. We're working on that. It's going to take its time because again, the WFA, which is like the WNFL, that took some years and a lot of hard work, dedication, like any other women in an organization that we have to break the glass ceiling, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the WFA, and the WNFC is probably the closest to the WNFL.
Wow, that's some things that I didn't know about, but thanks for educating me because so far we've just seen women's softball team. I've been watching it while I'm watching the Summer Olympics. And also back then you had the women's basketball tournament. And yes, I did watch it in the Summer Olympics back in 1996, and that paved the way that started the WNBA.
Mm.
So when I'm looking
Oh
at some
wow.
college basketball, both men and women's college basketball, I mean that really created the WNBA. And you mentioned some other women's football teams that I didn't know about, but thanks for educating me because somewhere during my lifetime, Lord willing, if I see something on the major networks or maybe some independent stations, or I probably may watch it on YouTube, I'll probably see it somewhere in my lifetime. But
Oh yeah,
thank you for
we've been on
educating me.
ESPN too. Also, like again, I played with the Detroit Dark Angels when we played for the WFA Pro, which transferred over to the Detroit Venom. Unfortunately, they taken a break, and now, like I said, I'm taking a break from 11 men overall. I believe the next moving forward is 8 man, and I want to help contribute to that, just like with the flag. They got the NFL flag league for women and everyone now, right? Which is a disappointment because there's a whole 11-man women leagues that the NFL could have invested into. But because it's so much chaos, and I honestly feel like the pride is in the way and people don't, it's just it's a lot, but that's what's going to be a humanity's downfall anyway. So, but moving forward, I am interested in with the 8 women, and i.e. the LAF. pay attention and be wary because the LAF is on the rise. The Ladies American Football League, they are under the NFA, which is the men's arena football. Yes, we can check our website and everything. It's all up and running. So the Detroit Black Eyes will be playing 2026 at the LAF League.
Okay, and you can give us a quick plug right after the broadcast.
Most definitely.
Now, now here's a question I always ask my guests: living or dead, which artist or radio DJ personality you wish you wanted to meet?
Michael Jackson and Beyonce.
Hmm.
Let me explain why. They because of their discipline, their passion, and their worth ethic. I value that. And a lot of loyalty also. Those are a lot of my values, core values. And it is very important to me. And they are very strong minded in regard and strong about those as well. And I appreciate that type of stuff. Despite all their shenanigans and other chaos and stuff going on, but when you really done a research or hear some of them in a studio, it's so important. Their values are so important. My integrity is very important to me, and I value their discipline towards their work ethic.
Wow. Now, here in the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who is the top 10 R&B black artists of all time. But since I have you, Sticks, we're going to be doing a little different. And since this is a Blacks in Sports episode, we're about to do the Black Soul Music Experience top athletes who sings and sports songs of all time. Now, here's how it works. We do it like a top 10 countdown, like the show America's Top 10, hosted by the late Casey Kasem. And we go
Okay.
to the bottom five songs, which songs had the best airplay, but didn't get that much oomph. And when we get to the top five, we will find out who are some of the best songs, the best airplay during the sports season. That song received a top 10 hit. Was it in the top 10 or was it number one on Billboard's R&B Black Singles charts or the Hot 100 Pop Singles charts? Or did any of those athletes seen in any music videos, whether it's on BET or MTV or VH1, or that many of the athletes, when they are not playing on the field, they have other accolades, whether they were singers or they were musicians or they were in hip hop. So, since this is a Blacks in Sports episode, I'm going to start off with my top 10. And Sticks, you can think of yours, whatever you have. Now, I'm going to start off with number 10. Number 10 is called Reach Out by Giorgio Moroder featuring Paul Engelman. Now, this was aired during the 1984 Summer Olympics. This was a music video back then that was aired on MTV and other radio TV stations across the country. This was the music video that was aired while the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles have came out. So they did that music video during the Summer Olympics. So we're putting number 10, Reach Out by Giorgio Moroder featuring Paul Engelman at number 10. Number
Okay.
9, One Moment in Time, which was from the 1988 Summer Olympics performed by the late Whitney Houston. This was from the 1988 Summer Olympics LP on the Arista label. And that was a song that was played on all of the black radio stations and other radio stations across the country. This was aired during the 1988 Summer Olympics in Seoul, Korea, which was on NBC at that time. So we'll put One Moment in Time by Whitney Houston at number 9. Number 8, here's the rap version hit Basketball by Curtis Blow. We'll never knew that so many of those in hip hop love the sport basketball. So Curtis Blow talks about the basketball players and on the courts and everything. So we'll put Basketball by Curtis Blow at number 8. Number 7, Love is Just Like a Baseball Game by the Intruders. And this was the song that was getting ready for the baseball season while you're in love at the same time. So if you're down and out in love, you'll be strike one. You did something wrong. Strike two, you did it again. Strike three, you're out. So we'll put Love is Just Like a Baseball Game by the Intruders. Now we're up to number 6. The New York Giants did their music video, but this was back in January of 1987 during the Super Bowl. And the song that says, "We are the New York Giants. We back them up. We get them out." That sort of thing. So that was played on the local station, New York Hot Tracks, aired on ABC 7 New York. So we'll put the New York Giants at number 6. Number 5, the New York Mets had their music video called Let's Go Mets, which was 1986. It was their season. They were getting ready to be in the championship series, and then later on in the World Series. They were winners in the 1986 World Series, and we will never know that the Mets had their music video back in 1986. So I put the New York Mets, Let's Go Mets at number 5. Number 4, the Chicago Bears had their music video called the Super Bowl Shuffle. And I said to myself, we will never believe that this team were going in the Super Bowl had their top 10 hit. It was number 17 on Billboard's R&B Black Singles charts back in January 1986. Just 2 more weeks that they get into Super Bowl 20. So we'll put the Chicago Bears at number 4. Number 3, it's the Football Rap by LL Cool J, and that was from the 1986 movie Wildcats, starring Goldie Hawn. And Goldie Hawn plays the first female coach to play football. And you had some upcoming actors, including Wesley Snipes, Michael T. Williamson, and a young Willie Harrelson. We all knew him from Cheers. And they had appearances by comedian Nipsey Russell and the late not Swoosie Kurtz, the late Jan Hooks from Saturday Night Live, and actress Swoosie Kurtz. And the introduction, the football rap, he did like, "It's the sport of kings, better than diamond rings. That's why we have to say football. Sunday in the snow, referees head to toe. Weekend warriors have to say football. Now just throw your hands up in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you love football the way I do, somebody say, oh yeah."
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, so I had to put that on there. So LL Cool J just did freestyle. He came up with something. So we'll put him at number 3. Number 2 is baseball player Bernie Williams. He played for the New York Yankees. While he's not on the field or off the baseball season, he was doing some smooth jazz. He was into jazz. He was playing some guitar, smooth jazz style. I don't know if they have it on iTunes or YouTube, and hopefully they will have that. So we'll put Bernie Williams, formerly from the New York Yankees, at number 2. And at number 1, I'm putting Shaquille O'Neal. I would never knew that this basketball player could rap. And I saw one of his music video debut, including "I'm Outstanding." And then he made a cameo appearance with the group Fushnikins. They call Kenry Rock, "What's Up, Doc?" And he'd be best known for that. So Shaquille O'Neal got his rapping chops and everything. But the other one that we've seen on TMZ that really got him in trouble about his player Kobe Bryant when Shaq was with the LA Lakers. I was like, oh man, how can this video get on TMZ and all over the world?
It was like, last week, Kobe couldn't do without me. Check it. You know how I be. Last week, Kobe couldn't do without me. I'm dead at that stat that I'm digging next to Biggie. And I'm like, oh man, you dissing Kobe. But that was number one. It was like 200 or 2,000 streams on YouTube. And then at the same time, he was like a sheriff. And then when the sheriff found out about this, it's like saying, Shaq, you were disrespecting some of your players. You're off the cop force. So that was like the
Wow.
best known freestyle rap. And still up to this date, you know, Shaq is still rapping either on the court or off the court. So we'll put Shaq at number one. So that's my top 10 athletes who can sing or rap or play music and some of the sports songs of all time. So, Sticks, do you have any of your favorites besides the ones
Yes,
that I just
actually.
mentioned?
One of them, I believe, is the Ball brothers, Alonzo Ball, or the Ball brothers that played with the Lakers before. Are you familiar with them? The newest song they
Um,
got.
no, but Alonzo Ball, that I know.
Yeah.
You mentioned
So
that.
him, Damian Lillard, Deion Sanders, Shaq, and actually Serena Williams.
Wow, I didn't know
Hmm.
that.
And then I some of the anthems like they I don't know like all their songs because they're not like real like all the way rappers, but um I'm from Detroit. It's so cold in the deep. Off, i.e., Black Ice. Yay, yay. Don't get caught slipping. But Lose Yourself by Eminem. You know,
You better lose yourself. You the moment. You only get one
yeah,
shot.
yeah. I think who doesn't listen to that? Even getting prepared for the game, just imagine, because music plays such a big part of pregame or just getting rep and getting yourself in the zone. Like sometimes everyone don't have that motivational speaker with you, or your mom or parent, or that person to help you get prepared for the game. Sometimes music is the only thing we have. So that's so important. So lose yourself alone. You gotta lose yourself. Get your mind out of thought and get your head in the game. Then of course we ready. We ready. We ready. We ready. I mean, that's a classic to me. For y'all, that song. We will rock you. Doom 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 doom. That's a lot of the hockey, but nope. We taking it at all sports. We taking it at all sports. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Hmm.
Line up. Dun, 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 dun. Eye of the Tiger.
Hmm.
Eye of the Tiger. And that's all. That's also. And then,
Yes.
last but not least, Dreams and Nightmares. Meek Mill.
Oh.
Hmm. 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 I mean, and then you got some couple runner ups though. Bone Crusher with more Eminem.
Mm.
Um,
Uh-huh.
the list go on. You would be surprised with so many people lists, but those are some that I believe at least everyone that I stated is on somewhere. May not be in the top, may not be bottom, but it's definitely on their list. And that's from
Mm.
all diversities, all everywhere. Eminem, it got to be on all of them. And they may have some Drake 666 and all that stuff too, but yeah, I have to admit those are some of my top ones. And Deion Sanders, I love his confidence. As much hate as he have, that man is something else. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop, and as long as if it ain't about game, he ain't want nothing about it. And I love it, even with his fashion and how his arrogance, it still goes right back to on the game, on the field, and that's what made him that monster, and intimidation too. So he created that music, and it only works. It only makes sense. It fits in perfectly.
Wow, it really did. Well, Sticks or Tiera, thank you so much for being here on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. It's been a pleasure talking with you as we do this episode on how does music play a part
in sports and all, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, hockey, soccer, and yes, the Olympic Games. So and college football and college
And lacrosse.
basketball too as well. And lacrosse. Yes. Thank you for keeping me on my toes. But thank you so much for being here. And again, special shout out to Monica Mona Lisa Hamlet for recommending me to interview you on my show. Thank you so much.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. And that goes to, like I said, Mona Lisa Lyrics is also one of our top sponsors for the Detroit Black Ice with Jay's Vins from Detroit, Flatland Residential Home Improvement Services. They're from Atlanta. So we get support from there, from Atlanta, and Straight Out of the Kitchen with Chef Glow from Detroit. Mona Lisa, Detroit, just because with music, and music, like we say, sports supports with the sports. Luminaire Electricity, and Breeze Lick Vivations, and um, our newest sports sponsor, who with music, actually, she's trying to figure out a song. So maybe from our song list, she may choose. She wants to defend her sports athletics, wants to make a commercial regarding women's sports and trying to figure out which music will fit best. So I would like you to send me that list of music if you can, because she will love that. And she's one of our newest sponsors for our gear. And AB Athletic Balance. It's an AI generation. It's just artificial intelligence. It's athletic intelligence. But last but not least, who puts the music on our platform? FSP Designs. She is the reason why we have the music we want for our commercials, our promotions, our designs, website, and everything. She's the one that makes sure the music was amazing with our programming and our organization. Oh,
Okay.
can we give me some shout out for my social media?
Yes, yes. Where can we follow you on social media?
Okay, my personal social media is Sticky Icky 10. That's STICKYICKY, Sticky Icky 10. That's my IG. And then I got my TikTok is Sticks the Goddess, STICKS, the Goddess. And then my Facebook page is Tiera, Tiera, Sticks Derek Jones. And then, Pink Hill Productions, Pink Hill Productions at Pink Hill Productions and IG or Pink Hilton and the Facebook as well. So if you are interested in sports, please follow the Detroit Black Ice at DET Black Ice. Again, that's DET Black Ice. That is the Detroit Black Ice women's football team on Facebook. And last but not least, our website, DETBLKIce.org. I hope you guys to check that out and give us some follows and some shout outs. I greatly appreciate it. You give us a nice shout out and shout out the Black Excellent Music, then we can have you on our list for our first game.
Okay. Well, thank you for all of the info and everything. Download all of the songs, and yes, some of the sports songs, and yes, some of the athletes who did participate in music, as we talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase a CD at Amazon.com. Make sure you follow Tiera Sticks Jones. Follow her, Sticks the Goddess, on TikTok. Look for Facebook, Tiera Sticks Jones on Facebook, and also her homepage, Detective Black Ice on Facebook, and go to her website. That's Detective, that's
Detroit.
DET,
Detroit.
Detroit, BLKIce.org. I'm going to remember all of these. I can't remember
Don't
everything,
worry, I'll
but
send it to you.
you,
Like I said, if
okay.
everyone else wants to, they got to give us all a shout out. They got to give you a thank you so much for having me, and then the Detroit Black Eye so they can get their name on a list for our first home game for the 2026 season.
Oh, yes, indeedy. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this episode, please subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Look for me on these 5 platforms. I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. And don't forget the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel Wilson Jr.'s, don't forget to add the S at the end, dash studio. And yes, I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And if you have a hard time getting on to Riverside.fm, then please become a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. All you need to do is use your email address and your password, and you get onto the Patreon homepage where you check out all of the Patreon shows done by different creators. And make sure you go to the search box on the top and make sure you type in the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast, where you can check out all of my audio and video podcast episodes and video podcast clips that you may have missed. And if you have a hard time getting on to patreon.com, then I will be posting this episode on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. If you like this episode, if you love my podcast, please subscribe, please support, please give me a thumbs up, please leave a comment, and please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience Podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners and viewers like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Look for my podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pocket Cast. And don't forget the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s studio. And don't forget to check out my audio and video podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Go to facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. You can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66, and follow me on Instagram at SAMM.Y2980. As always, partying, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless, thanks for listening, have a good week, and please be safe.